Guys, you gotta let me know next time you just pop into one of my videos, okay? God, I mean, that wasn't for you. It's not ready yet. I gotta finish that first. Man. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna show you another story that I wrote, and this one's called The Day. It goes like this. Let me first start out by saying that the day is the worst form of airline travel the world has ever known. Even the airline I Suggest Not is better than it, and nobody ever dares fly I Suggest Not, or at least no one that can pay more than $20 for a ticket. And just to give you one example of the quality difference between the day and I Suggest Not cost $20 for a 14-hour flight from South America to Australia. The day cost 20 cents for the same thing. Because of this, its planes are always filled with poor, unsuspecting saps who have no idea what they're getting themselves into. So it's safe to say that it was a sad day the day had 3 of its planes take off simultaneously from the same runway. They were heading from Brazil to Australia, and luckily for the American pilots and staff, none of the passengers spoke English. The 3 The Day planes took off during the day into a cloudy sky. When each plane was precisely 30,000 feet up, each pilot told the co-pilot to take over flying and turned around in his swivel chair, grabbed a megaphone from the wall next to him, turned it on, and spoke to the sorry saps of passengers, sang. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. As you probably don't know, there are no toilets on this plane, so all your excreting will be done in the primitive substitutes the staff has acquired for you. Instantly, staff members appeared out of nowhere and started handing out squalid, they'd probably been used by the previous batch of passengers and never been cleaned, tin buckets to the utterly confused Brazilians. As you have probably observed, there is no roof, so it might get a little breezy back there, the pilots continued. And we hope you have brought umbrellas since they have not been included with your seat, which is the floor. I also would advise you to mind the massive holes in the floor and urge you to refrain from leaning on the walls, unless, of course, you're in the mood for a skydive and a watery grave. We don't have any toiletries on board, and I advise my last group of passengers to use their sleeves. I suggest you do the same. If you have any complaints, then I suggest you keep them to yourselves. Thank you. The pilots of all 3 planes switched off their megaphones and went back to piloting their planes. Of course, the passengers had no idea what the pilots had said, and they probably barely could heard the megaphones over the roar of the wind anyway. So it was, to their great astonishment, when one of them, from sheer exhaustion, leaned against the wall and promptly fell through it. Seeing this, the pilot of the plane, from which the unfortunate man fell out, turned on his megaphone and said, "Well, folks, that's what happens when you don't obey the rules." But I wouldn't be too worried about him anyway. After all, he went to confession before he boarded, so what's to worry? Apparently, these pilots are Catholic, and they're all up in their passengers' business. But anyway, that's... All of a sudden, probably out of stress, one of the Brazilians on board decided to become a raving lunatic and started banging his fists on the floor, demanding to be let out of the plane. The pilot cut in sharply with his megaphone. "Hey, stop that! You want the floor to give way or something?" The Brazilian, unable to understand or hear what the pilot was saying, continued banging his fists in irritation. Suddenly, the floor under the passengers dropped out from under them and plummeted, Brazilians and cargo, down into the Pacific. "Well, at least we got some sense out of them," muttered the pilot to the co-pilot. But the second The Day plane, directly above the now vacant one, was having a rather different problem. "Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I'm gonna make this short, since you probably can't understand a thing I'm saying anyway. We are rapidly running out of fuel, and we'll be plummeting to our death soon, so I suggest you start panicking, since there's nothing much else you can do. Please refrain from screaming, though. I have a nasty headache." Suddenly, the plane's engine spluttered and died, and the plane took a horrific 90-degree nosedive. The pilot switched on his megaphone again. "Well, people, we're about to crash." "Well, people, we're about to crash water and die a terrible death. But it's nice, though, rather a debasement of humankind, to know that sorry saps like you still fly the day airlines." Boop. He switched off his megaphone. The wreckage of his plane was never found. Then again, no one ever looked. The third and last The Day plane, by this time, had already lost all of its passengers when the pilot accidentally caused the plane to fly belly up. So it was that 2 of the 3 day planes made it to their destination safely and empty. No one ever wondered what happened to the passengers. They had a feeling they already knew. The end! Yay! Okay, so that's that. Kind of a classic Greek tragedy, you know? Okay, that's it. I'm done. What you think? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And is there something else you guys do? I don't know. Do it. Do it, man. Make it happen, man. You know. Okay, I'm gonna hang up now. See ya.